Hi everyone. Welcome to Opal Oracle. If you're new, and if you're returning, so nice to have you back. Now, Scorpio, you are the 5th sign that I've done. I'm letting everyone know who came before them. I sense that there's something important about it. You have Gemini. It's Gemini season. It's the house of communication. They rule writing. They also rule siblings. There's also been this message for every single sign that's, especially Virgo was strong about it, where the depth of knowledge that you have about life, about people, about humanity, it's like you want to share that with the world. And I think for whatever reason, I've been telling all the signs, like, hey, pay attention to Scorpio. Like, they will teach you much if you want to learn, right? So I did this other spread with everyone else, but I wanted to do the house again for you to see what the contrast is, okay? So let's see what the door is. Cool. Clear mind. This is also a person on top of the mountain. Okay? See your windows? The roof? The peak? The hearth? There was like an icky feeling in my belly at first because of what I originally saw. If I took the stereotype to what it is, like if I take the instant reaction to what it is that I see, right? I walk in the house and it's like, and then I have this energetic reaction. You rule life and death, right? So you build something, so you make something, so you do something, you climb up the mountain, right? Then what did I say? You get to the top of the mountain, oh, there's another mountain. It's like an infinite journey that is never over, except I sense that for you, there's an annoyance to that in relation to your relations to other people, specifically romantically, sexually, like where all of the components go together and feel really good, right? The house, the home feels good. There's no icky kind of feeling in there. I see there's no reason for you to be well, I heard the word paranoid when I began, and then I kind of see it again now. But it's kind of like I said before, if someone lies to you, you know that they lie to you. They don't even have to say it. You know that they're lying to themselves. This goes back to the point of what I've been explaining to everybody else is like, if they want to take, the time to connect and communicate with you, well then they would understand that you're doing half the work for them. And they could just say thank you, but instead people get pissed, and that's probably part of the reason most of you are kind of silent. Sorry, my neck hurts. It's really tight. I feel like there's a need for you to move, like stretch your body more, like move it around. Instead of just educating and like your mental and your psyche, how about the energy in your body? I see that this is Libra, this is Aries, they're opposite. And what happens? You have Uranus in Libra, right? 7th house. Which opposing that would be Uranus in your 1st house, which makes sense because that's Taurus, your opposite. I hope everyone followed that. The point is that this combination, this is the door, this is one of the windows. So this Uranus transit is very important because part of that, having Uranus in your 7th house is not easy. It's not easy because sometimes you're going to be like, yeah, okay, like this relationship doesn't work for me. Whatever soul contract you have with whoever, whatever, at work, romantically, friendship-wise, right? But the reason why this is all happening is it's asking you the question, how happy are you with you? How in love are you with you? How much light do you let into your life? How much, and I heard, how close do you let people get to you? Not just intellectually speaking, but like emotionally. This is the only cup on the board. I actually see you sort of blocking folks in a way. And I see that it comes from Uranus in the 7th house is also going to ask you, how do you define yourself according to your relationships? Even your relationship with God. What is your role in it? And how does that determine your position on the wheel, I heard, and the position within yourself? How does that play out? I see that the male gets on your nerves, okay? Like, you don't know quite what it is, but you're starting to soften it, okay? But you have to have a lot of patience in the situation because the messages that you'll be receiving are not exactly clear, okay? You have to take a lot of time and patience in each observation. And then you have to ask yourself multiple questions, okay? If someone comes knocking at your door and you don't know who they are, well, don't just ask them one question. I want you to ask them 7 questions. Maybe there's 7 questions. At very least, I feel like there should be 2 questions that you always ask when you receive information. And of course, you could come up with your own. All these people are silent here too. Well, I see that what's happening during this time period is you're being asked a lot about what you're afraid of. Okay? Within yourself. What you're afraid of. And how willing are you to accept that and then move on so that you can start growing the life that you want that no longer is stressful. Okay? When I was turning these, I felt like it was like a little book. There's a need for just sort of letting yourself do things, and inspiration will come to you. Okay? Wow. Yeah, when you're not clinging on to the past and you just cut that bullshit out and close those cycles, karma comes and it's like, good job. Good job. Okay? Good job. You don't have to feel this. Okay? You don't have to at all. You decide where it is that you walk, how it is that you do it, what is enough, what is not enough. You're the only one that can communicate that. You understand the shadow, okay? You are Taurus too. I was telling this to Virgo, but it's like, if we try to say that we don't like the opposite, or that we don't have anything in common with it, or whatever, well, that just means you're denying a part of you're denying yourself the ability to understand the other side of you. You know? Yeah, sure, maybe people have judgments about all sorts of things. But we're not allowed to have judgments with Saturn, or get punished. Okay? It's about being open and freeing yourself. How do you do that? Because those judgments can just be about yourself. Right? Because if your life and death, it's like you build and build, and then you kind of destroy. You die, and then you do a whole new thing, and then you die, and you know. It's like having a lot of, having all these transformations in life is like changing your name all the time, or something like that. You know? Trying to change your past. But how you change your past is by, well, changing your structure, right? Not sticking to these traditional values, because those obviously are confining to who you actually are as a person and what you see as success, okay? No more of those, so your mama was mean, so therefore you get mean. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that at all. You decide. You decide how awesome you are. You decide how stable you are. You decide how rich you are in soul, in your bank account, whatever. Creatively speaking, what it is that you're making. You have Jupiter in your first house. Well, next year, that's Taurus. So it's important from now to then to embrace those parts of Taurus so that you can understand what it is that you'll be working with next year. And since we're always going with you, I feel like you're always really ahead of the game. No surprise. But this is Gemini season. Well, 2 years from now, it will have, well, November, 2 years, whatever, it will be, you'll have Jupiter in your third house. That's a big deal. This will be Jupiter in your fifth house. How do you see these times from now? How do you see 5 years from now? You know, think about things like a Taurus would. It's not about necessarily how much you can get done as fast as you can get done it now. You know, trying to prove something to Saturn. It's about, well, what is the long-term goal? What are the long-term goals here? It's not about, yes, sure, now. Pay attention to now. Now is important. But I see part of the now is this whole reading is like blocking other people from coming in. So maybe what it is you need to do it. There's something where you need to, well, you need to know how strong you are. This is your original card, right? There's your 8. Your heart is enormous. Look what's underneath that. Clear as day. Queen of Swords is like, hey, you can make anything that you want, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Mercury, Uranus. These are just words, but words are magic. Even if those words are silent and in your head, it's still a spell. You're still spelling, okay? I see it's really important what you think about, particularly during Gemini season, but any old time, okay? Don't let your thoughts block you and what it is that, like, I know a lot of you, in a way, you accept your scorpionic duties in this lifetime, in this dimension, but I also know that sometimes it's murky and you don't know what to do with it, and you're kind of tired of it, and you're feeling like, didn't I already do my job? Why do I have to keep going into this kind of situation? I see that the father in the home is really big. It rules one of the whole windows, okay? The other window has, well, an opportunity for you to really be, I heard reborn in a way, to the way that you perceive love. Okay? And I see that it's not about sex. Everyone always says that you're so, they always say that you're so, I mean, granted, you're super sensual, you're the opposite of Taurus, etc. You rule pleasure and magic and whatever. Occult, which, what does an occult mean? Hidden beyond sight. You know? But sex is so base, fundamental, right? It's like dense energy. That's not ascension, you know? That's not the ultimate end-all, be-all of whatever. It doesn't matter at all, really. I mean, I'm sure there's some signs out there would be like, what the fuck? Of course it does. I mean, yes, it's nice, but that's not the point. It's really not the point. The point is fairness. The point is reciprocal give and take in a relationship. Where people are open and free. It has so much to do with the heart chakra, just like I feel like I want to go put on a green shirt for you. Hold on a second. It's not super green. It's like green blue. But we can use this. This is a peppermint plant. You want to smell it? Smells good. You know, they keep spiders away too. Like unwanted spiders. They don't like the smell of mint or clove, things like that. Anyway, it all goes back to what we've been talking about since like last August. It's like figuring out, even if you don't remember every single detail, which you probably do, but like wherever it was that someone has lied to you, it's like you have to let that go. Especially the kind of lies that weren't directed ultimately at you, and they were not specific. And then I held my breath because I don't think that that energy is your energy. But again, you hold on to other people's energy accidentally sometimes. And I think that you've been doing it your whole life since you're a kid. And you don't, when you're a kid, like, think about if the skills that you have now, if you took those skills and you gave them to a child and was like, okay, go ahead, they wouldn't be good. It takes time to do it, okay? I see, if you really want to ascend through the roof of this house in the most honest way, go door to roof, right? I see that you should write down 7 things that you remember specifically that someone lied to you about, that they never admitted it. I'm like getting pissed, do you see that? But really, like, there's something about it, like, and I just keep hearing like a hissing, like a snake. Not that a snake is bad, because it's not. You actually rule the snake. But it's where I'm almost feeling like when a snake feels threatened, right? Like if someone lies to you, you feel threatened. It's like you're kind of coiling up. And this, it's kind of a leaking, right? It's like a hissing of a hose. So that means in a way that there's already little holes in this situation and you can just blow it out if you want to and like, I just keep seeing like a geyser going through the house. Okay? Just washing away all that stagnant energy that you've been holding on. 7 years old, 15 years old, whatever. Some when you were 3. I know that's specific, but I see it. I want to read you a book. Hold on a second. Like a bedtime story. You don't ever do that when you were a kid. Hold on. Okay, so this is a chunk of dreams for like 10, this is like 10 years worth of dreams, but then I have multiple books. You want to pick one? This one. Never done this before, only for you, Scorpio. Wow, you just gave me a message too. Thanks so much. You are a great teacher. Okay. I love you, Scorpio. You are such a magical being. Do you know that? Like, I'm not saying that everybody else doesn't have their own powers and stuff like this, but man, if people really let themselves be in tune with you, it is utterly miraculous what you can understand. Thank you. I hope you appreciate and love that about yourself, okay? Accept that about yourself. It's really beautiful, okay? Oh my God, you keep... All right. Well, this is walking. Cross the little bridge. I had a cup of coffee in a blue cup. I put it down on the ground after deciding to go swimming. But we had to cross the street to swim. Took the low path, there was a branch in the way. There's green, low vines. Someone says it's poison sumac, barefooted. We were surrounded by it. I cut an escape route. What year was this? This was dream 888,247.6. If any of you have a dream journal, I would suggest going back, okay? Checking it out. Poison sumac doesn't kill you, it's just itchy. And chamomile actually solves that too. There's always a natural remedy, right? So, know that. And know that anything in nature usually goes kind of slowly, okay? It's like I was telling Gemini, you don't have to get everything done in a day. Again, think of Taurus, your opposite, right? One step at a time. That's how we balance our emotions better, okay? Day to day. How we release ourselves from energy that is not even our own, okay? It's putting in the work, accepting that challenge, and knowing that even though you represent transformation in this revolution of transformation, it doesn't mean that you have to ultimately extinguish everything that you were before. It just means that elementally speaking, like psychologically speaking, whatever, spiritually speaking, you're advancing. And at an exponential rate if you so do desire. Because you're Scorpio. All right. I love you so much. I hope this helped. You're, again, the fifth reading I did inside, so the energy is kind of strange. You know, it's different. I really want to be outside, but I'm not comfortable yet with my environment to be out there. Okay? But I'll find out where that is and how to do it soon enough, right? Totally.